What is up, gamers? I'm bored and I'm unemployed, so I'm gonna do a Coldplay tier list of all their songs. I have them all organized. This is the guy that made it, and I'm just gonna do it. So let's talk about the tiers in the tier list, because it's a tier list. We have to introduce the tiers. Basically, the tiers are for our S tier. Guy Berryman owns every inch of this budussy, which is basically just like Guy Berryman's hot. And if the song fucks that hard or like makes me cry that hard, then Guy Berryman probably owns every inch of this budussy. Like it's just like untouchable songs, like just like almost never skip unless I'm like really in a mood or whatever. I don't know. So our A tier is Dad, it's the good Kush, and the B tier is this is the dollar store. How good can it be? So, Dad, it's the good Kush as a tier. It's just like it's a good song. It's objectively a good song. You can't really come for it, but like sometimes you're just not feeling the vibe because sometimes it's too sad or like you want to go cry and then like Charlie Brown comes on and you're like maybe not, maybe not. Yeah, so it's a good songs. Nothing wrong with them at all. Just like not always the vibe, not so good that they're completely untouchable. This is the dollar store is like a B tier, C tier kind of situation where it's just like mid. It's things that are mid, like things that are like not bad, not my favorite, pretty much. I know this tier like looks super snarky, but really, it's just like, not always. Anyway, so for our like C tier, D tier, I don't even know. This one is Nar, aka the it's not from A tier, aka the I don't like this song, but I like don't despise it, and we'll get to that. But this is like I don't despise it. I just don't like it, but I get like why some people could like it. I just don't. And then our shit tier or our shadow realm or whatever you want to call it is the everyday life era. And the everyday life era gets this because out of all of these songs down everyday life, some are redeemable. Admittedly, some are redeemable. And not all these songs will go in there. It's really just like a lot of the singles, probably from like other albums that I just didn't like or songs that I think are cringe. It's like a cringe tier. And like there will be plenty of shit in here or just like things I really don't care about and I just don't get the appeal. And it's like not for me. So anyway, we're gonna start Brothers and Sisters EP. So that's one, two, three right here. Brothers and Sisters, Only Superstition, Easy Please. So starting with Brothers and Sisters, I'm gonna put that in Dad. It's the good Kush, cause like Brothers and Sisters is a good song. It has a really strong intro. It's like these are like some of the first songs they like put out as Coldplay. So like Brothers and Sisters, it like has like that big sound at the beginning and then it brings it back and it just goes back and forth and it layers and the vocals are good and everything's just good. It's not always the vibe and it's not like one of my favorite songs, but it's really fucking good and that's non-negotiable. Next we Easy to Please should go here. Anyway, Easy to Please goes here. Easy Please is going to go in the This is a Dollar Store tier. I like Easy Please. I don't have a problem with it. Like at all. It's just like it can't hold a candle to Brothers and Sisters or anything else that's gonna go in that tier. So it's gonna be mid. It's solid, no issues. Only Superstition I'm gonna put in Nar. It's like Easy to Please has that really soft like Chris Martin using his falsetto moment, which I live. I live. Um, but only Superstition like took that too far in the wrong way. So it's a Nar for me. Next we have Bigger Stronger. I don't like Bigger Stronger. I'm gonna put it with Only Superstition. There's like nothing wrong with it, and like I like the commentary. I just like don't love like musically, and like I'm a musician, and like I don't think I'm gonna post this anywhere, but maybe I will. Who knows? But I'm a musician, so the music is like super fucking important to me. and like the vocals and whatever, and it's just not memorable. It doesn't stick out in my brain. Speaking of songs that do stick out in my brain for the right reasons, See You Soon gets sent to the top easily. It is an acoustic track, but like for the most part, there's like a tiny bit of perk in there, but it's like fine. See You Soon makes me fucking sob. That's it. That's the tweet. Yeah, no, See You Soon is just like the lyrics are so good. Um, yeah. That I don't have anything else to say. This shit makes me sob. Some people that I know will like hear this come on my shuffle and be like, nope, we're not doing this right now. I'm like, okay, I got it. I get it. Um, so yeah, whatever. Such a Rush is fine. It's gonna go in the Nar tier just because like the Nar tier is gonna also like be like I don't care about it, but like I have a really shitty memory. So like a lot of these songs, like I definitely remember these two. I don't really remember Such a Rush nearly as well. So it's gonna be like also things that I'm like I know I've listened to it and I remember how I reacted to it more than I remember the actual song. If that makes literally any sense. So that's gonna go there just because it's not memorable. I'm pretty sure it's like about like climate crisis. I was like watching something about it, but I don't know. It could be completely wrong. And then I don't know what the fuck Ode to Deodorant is. There's some like weird ones on, not weird, but like there's like a lot of B sides, which I like really appreciate about this list. But I also like haven't heard every single B side just because like a lot of them like aren't on Spotify or like aren't easily accessible unless you go fucking looking for every fucking Coldplay song out there. So I don't know Ode to Deodorant nor A Ghost, so I'm gonna leave those. I'm gonna like listen to them off screen or whatever, and do that. So next, I'm like messing my desk and chair and everything. We're doing great. Next we're gonna go to the Parachutes era. So that starts with For You, I guess, which even though I'm pretty sure that was released like after Parachutes the album, whatever. I'm generally on this like gonna do like singles and B-sides first. Yeah. And then like at the end it kind of goes the other way around. But like whatever, I don't really care. There's a lot of like singles and early stage shit. So anyway, For You. For You is like a solid Coldplay piano song. I'm pretty sure. I might be getting that mixed up with 2000 Miles. That's another story. Oh, I'm definitely, but whatever. I remember it's like it's solid. Like it's cute. It's a very sweet like Chris Martin being like, "I love you. I wrote this song for you." You know. You know. Like there's nothing wrong with it, but this is the dollar store. How good could it be? Careful Where You Stand. I've definitely heard, but I do not remember. Do not. So I'm gonna doggy ear that. Help is right around the corner though. Does go in Dad, It's the Good Kush. It's like simple. Like a lot of these singles, like for Parachutes era, is like really acoustic, really single, you know. But yeah, it goes in Dad's the Good Kush just because like it's like a good comfort song. It serves its purpose really well, so I appreciate that. No More Keeping My Feet on the Ground is gonna go For You, just because it's not super memorable, but I like the simplicity of it, and I also really like the title. It's just good. And then, Where Is My Boy? Your Love Means Everything in Brothers and Sisters B-side. I didn't even know there was Brothers and Sisters B-side, but I haven't heard any of them, and therefore am unable to rank them at this present moment. So let's get to Parachutes proper. Don't Panic is a really cool opening track. I'm gonna put it, I'm like between these two. Cause like on one hand, it's like lyrically, it's kind of shit. Like it's like we live in a beautiful world. Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do. Which is like, but like musically, it's cool. I think it's gonna be like a high. This is the dollar store. I think I'm gonna put it there, just because the lyrics aren't that good. It's really short, but it's a good opener. It's a really solid opener. I don't have any like major issues other than the yeah we do that mess. Um, so next we have Shiver. I don't like Shiver that much. I don't know why. That's a lie. I like Shiver. Just like compared to a lot of this shit. Like I Can't Hold a Candle. So I think I'm still gonna put it in Dad's the Good Kush because it's objectively better than Don't Panic. Um, I really like this album in its entirety. So it's like this is my favorite Coldplay album. So I'm gonna put Shiver up there. I like it musically, especially the vocals for the "It is this my final chance of getting" that whole thing, like that's a moment, and I live. Um, anyway, Spies get sent. There's no question. Guy Berryman does own every inch of this Badussi. Um, but Spies is just really cool, and the vocals are good, and just the writing is good, and it's one of the most iconic songs off this album, in my opinion. So I'm gonna do that. Sparks is going up there too. You know why? I don't need to say why, and by that I mean if you don't know context, I'm not gonna leave you completely in the dark. So I will let you know that it like is like just like a little guitar moment with like a really nice walking bass line, you know. It's just sweet. Makes me cry. Um yeah, but like you know why. Yellow, I'm between this. Yellow is like okay, I'm gonna put it in Nar, just because I used to fucking love this song. Like you know, like back in middle school, it's like a thing. Don't worry about it. But like now it's just kind of cringe. And like I kind of want to die every time it comes on because like when most Coldplay singles come on, I'm just like, wow, this is what people think of when they think of Coldplay. That's sad. That's sad. So Yellow goes there because it's like not a bad song, but like it's I'm pretty sure like I would call it the worst song on Parachutes easily. Um, God, I want to send Trouble too. I'm gonna do it. Trouble is so good. The piano is gorgeous, and then just I love it. It's just like the emotion is there. It's right. It's great. I'm sending it. I'm doing it. There's gonna be more where that came from. I'm looking at you. Parachutes is gonna go in Dad's the Good Kush. Don't Panic wants what Parachutes has. Cause Parachutes is like just simple and short and has yeah, it's just simple and short like Don't Panic is, but just the calmness of Parachutes after like the roller coaster that is like Shivered into Spies into Sparks and like Yellow and Trouble. It's like this like all of those are so intense in different ways, and then Parachutes is just like in a haze, a stormy haze, like that whole thing. It's like so just chill, and it's like a minute long break that we get. It's lovely, and it serves its function. That's why it's Dad's the Good Kush. I do listen to that track on its own, even though it's like a minute and a half long. Anyway, High Speed also goes in the Good Kush. High Speed is so good. It's like a little jazzy. It's a little like sassy, I guess. If Coldplay did sassy in like the year 2000, I don't know. I was one. I don't fucking remember. Um, but High Speed is good. It's kind of like it gives me like you're like doing the thing where you're dodging bullets in the Matrix or whatever. I don't fucking know. That's what it gives, and I love that. Like it gives me like like riding a Tron bike through like the empty streets of New York City and possibly in a movie. I don't know why, but it just does. But like in a very Coldplay way. Next is We Never Change, It Gets Sent. Same reason as like See You Soon. Like See You Soon, Sparks, and We Never Change are just like cry songs. Like Spies and Trouble don't make me cry nearly as much, but they're still good. But We Never Change like is so good. Especially I love the little measures of 5/4 that just go in there sometimes, and it's ugh like the I wanna live in a wooden house. Like that's such a great lyric. It's incredible, and I stand. Everything's Not Lost is mid. It's mid. I appreciate it. It's not bad. Like not at all. But it's like gets really repetitive. And also like I just like have mild trauma of like learning how to play it on the piano when I was like solidly like 12, 13, 14, and just like failing miserably in my parents' room and getting really frustrated. So that's kind of why it's there. And then it has a hidden track. I love how Coldplay always does hidden tracks. It's like a huge inspiration for my songwriting, which is Life is for Living. If I listen to Everything's Not Lost, it's because I am getting through to the end for Life is for Living. Life is for Living is like one of those tracks that's just like, this is a common theme. Like, I like when Coldplay does simple because they do simple well. They do it really well, and they can do complex well too, but this is one of those ones where it's just like simple and it's just like, it just works. It's just like kind of raw emotions and all that. Anyway, 1.36. We're on to like Rush of Blood era. Oops. So 136. It's mid. Like, I don't remember it that much, but I always listen to it and then I'm like, oh, I like it. It's like I always, yeah, it's easy. One I don't have much more to say. I don't remember this a whole lot, but I know I like it, which sounds stupid. One I Love is gonna go in Good Kush because One I Love is just like, it's solid. It gives me like Aliens before Aliens was a thing. Is Aliens on here? Good. Okay. Aliens is actually a good song. I don't really like this era, but this was good. Anyway, back to Rush of Blood era. One I Love is solid. It's just like, do you the one that I love? Do. Like, you know. Yeah, anyway, it's not the highlight of any of this. I Bloom Blom is. I just the modality of it is so fucking good. Like, so fucking good. And we're just kind of chilling. And the guitar is really good, and the vocals are good, and the writing's good, and it's all good. Murder, I'm gonna put mid. It's good. It stands out in my brain. I enjoy it, but I'm not sitting there being like, oh, like I have to listen to this every time. Like, it's very often a skip, but it's good. Crests of Ways, I like a lot. I like it almost as much as I Bloom Blonde, but not quite. But I just enjoy. It's very classic Coldplay, and I'm really sad it didn't make an album because it would have gone really well on like even like X and Y. Either way. Next is Animals. Animals is going mid just because I skip it so much more frequently than any of these three, but I still like it. Like, Animals didn't do anything wrong. It didn't do anything to me. It's been stuck in my head a lot lately. So yeah. 2,000 Miles. It's gonna go here. Yeah, it's also mid. I I strongly believe that Rush of Blood had the strongest B-side era, but also like it's not that great, I guess. Like, a lot, it's just like there's some like really big standouts with these three. These three carried. Yeah, 2,000 Miles, I get confused with For You a lot. Oh, now I remember For You. No, I stand by where I put it. But 2,000 Miles, it's fine. It's like really standard Coldplay ballad, like piano ballad. Like, and the lyrics aren't good enough to warrant it being on album, so I understand why it's like a single B-side. But yeah, it's fine. Ladder to the Sun, I just don't remember that much. I've heard it like a couple times, but I don't know it well enough to rank it, and I didn't even know they had a song called Moses. So on to Rush of Blood proper. These are gonna start piling up. That sucks. Politic. I'm going to put in Nar. I don't think it's a bad song at all, but I am always skipping it just because it is so unmemorable. And like, this album is so fucking stacked, minus like you. Even it's really just minus Whisper, and like, I don't love God Put a Smile Upon Your Face, but that's later. I generally like Rush of Blood to the Head. Like, I generally think it's a good album, but they're just like, I don't know. Like, I don't know how to describe it because I know people like love and live and die for this album, and I totally get it, but I just can't. And it's just because of like certain moments that just ruin it. And like, Politic is like such a horrible way to start it. Like, not horrible. It's like not a bad song. It's just like, it can't hold up. In My Place, on the other hand, is Going to Dad. It's the Good Kush. Um, it's just simple and solid, and like one of the most iconic Coldplay, like just like simple like guitar licks with the do 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 do, that whole thing. So good. Yeah, I enjoyed seeing this in concert. I've seen Coldplay in concert twice. I saw them on the Milo tour in December 2012, and then I forget exactly what year. I think it was like 2016. I think it was summer of 2016 for Head Full of Dreams tour, which is like one of the most incredible shows I've ever seen. Either way, it's tangent. In My Place was great live. God put a smile on my face was not. Fun fact. When I saw Coldplay my first time in 2012, Chris Martin fucked up the words to God Put a Smile Upon Your Face on tour. I have the recording because I may or may not, as a 12-year-old, have recorded that whole entire concert in my voice memos, and I still have them. But yeah, he like started it over and had to like he fucked up and had to start over, and it was really funny. And he was like, "Oh shit, I fucked up on stage," and it was very funny. But God Put a Smile on Your Face. I like it. Takes too long to build. It takes way too long to build, and also like I generally enjoy how Coldplay's music isn't religious focused. Like if I wanted to like deal with thoughts about God, I'd listen to Sufjan Stevens. And like when I got into Coldplay, I didn't know who Sufjan Stevens was, but like now as a 22-year-old, if I wanted to think about Jesus as a Jew, I would listen to Sufjan Stevens, you know? Anyway, God Put a Smile Upon Your Face. Not that bad of a song. Definitely worse than Politic, but I'm gonna put it down here because I don't love it. And like, please don't kill me. I genuinely like this album as a whole, but these two, no. Scientist, I'm gonna put mid. Mostly just like it got overplayed. Also, I literally used to be able to play this on piano with my eyes closed. That's not an exaggeration. I was on Skype with my friend one night and I did it for him like my freshman year of high school. Um, it just got overplayed. But it's objectively a good song. It's a sad song. Like, I'm not mad. Clocks is one of the few singles that like really works. Like Coldplay and Taylor Swift both do this thing where like they put out the worst singles, and Kelly Clarkson. Like Kelly Clarkson singles are like or at least like as of late, I don't want to open that can of worms right now, but yeah, like Clocks is like a really great single, and like now it's not that overplayed. Like it gets obviously more playtime than a lot of other Coldplay songs, but it's not as ridiculously overplayed as Scientist or Viva is or Yellow is, so I can respect that. And musically it holds up. It just has like that random key change in the middle, and I respect it. It is a little bit homophobic of Chris Martin to then do the like low section that was like home where I wanted to go at the end, just because like I'm a tenor and I can't sing that. But whatever. Clocks is good. It's the Good Kush objectively. Like I'm not mad at it. Daylight, I'm not obsessed with. I'm gonna put it in NAR because, like I said before, with NAR, if a song goes in NAR, it's either like I don't. Usually, it's just I don't like it, but I can get the appeal, or like I once did like it, but it's not for me anymore, or it's just like so forgettable that I don't really care. But Daylight's gonna go in there just because like it's boring. I don't like it. Anyway, I'm gonna stop ripping on it. Green Eyes, I'm between these two. I kind of like how the vocals just rise through it, and I like Green Eyes. You're the one I want. Fine, that's a good line. I do have Green Eyes. I'm biased. It's Visibility. Warning Sign. I don't want to send it because I know what I want to send, and I don't want to send too many things from this album just to like justify me putting all of this shit down here and putting like one fucking song from Parachutes down here with 4 in the top category. Warning Sign I'm also gonna put in Good Kush, but it's pretty close to getting sent. Warning Sign is just really good, and it's like kind of that self-acknowledgement of like this isn't going well, but I'm gonna do it anyway, and I'm like, I respect that, you know. Whisper, I'm like this. I'm gonna put it in Everyday Life era. I can't stand Whisper. I cannot stand Whisper. It's not a good song. I don't have anything else to say. Whisper is one of the songs that like ruins this album for me. Like it's really Daylight and Whisper because I can get through Politic and God Put a Smile Upon Your Face. But Daylight and Whisper ruin it for me. On to my favorite part of the album, the very end, and I don't mean that as I'm happy it's over, but I love these two songs. Rush of Blood to the Head gets sent, and so does Amsterdam. They are my two favorite songs in the album easily. Rush of Blood to the Head, um, incredible title track, and it's hard to save your title tracks to the end. I would know my title track of my album was also second to last, so like, huh. But Rush of Blood to the Head is a really good song. I just love the lyrics of like, I'm gonna buy this place and burn it down, just talking about all the things that he's gonna do, like, out of vengeance. Like, it's so good. And the vocals are cool. It starts super low, so I hate that I can't sing it. And same with Amsterdam. Amsterdam also starts super low. But anyway, Rush of Blood to the Head is so good and such an underrated track off that album. Everybody else like loves like In My Place and Clocks, and obviously Amsterdam people love Politic. I don't really get it, but like, you do you. And then Amsterdam is like such classic Coldplay. It's like the emotional lyrics, the sound. It's an E flat. Coldplay loves E flat. But just I love Amsterdam, and I can't even put into words. So anyway, now we're on to X and Y singles. I don't know a lot of these, admittedly, which is sad. I do know Gravity very well. If anybody knows me and digs through my YouTube, you will find a shitty cover of it when I was like in my freshman year. So that's fun. We love that. Gravity is going to go in Good Kush. Once again, classical play, E flat, piano. You know, it's fine. Like, it's good. I have like an emotional attachment to it, so I'm definitely high ranking it, but it's not that good. I've out of the rest of these, I've heard Sleeping Sun before. I've heard things I don't understand, but the rest I haven't. I'm very curious as to what the fuck Proof is, because anytime it's a one-word title, you just know it's gonna be some kind of shit. So I'm gonna skip over these. Let's go to X and Y proper, because that's what I want to talk about. Square One is such a good way to start an album. Like, just like thematically, like, you want to start at square one, obviously, but also the you're in control, is there anywhere you want to go? Like, it's such a good way to start an album. And for that, I'm gonna put it in Good Kush. I don't like X and Y that much compared to Rush of Blood and Parachutes. And also I know I liked a lot of the older stuff, but also I really enjoyed Ghost Stories because it's very Parachutes in nature. And surprisingly, even though I didn't like Milo, I really liked A Head Full of Dreams. I'm guessing that's partially because I saw it on tour and it was just so good. But anyway, I'm not a huge fan of this album, but Square One is really good, and I remember really liking it when I was like really deep into my Coldplay phase. So yeah, I'm gonna put Square One in Good Kush. I like it. What If is the first song I used to like I ever taught myself how to play on piano, and it kind of haunts me just cause like I literally just played a fucking F sharp minor chord on piano. I was like, oh, I can figure out the rest of this song, but I don't really like it that much. But I'm gonna put it in, it's like low This Is the Dollar Store, because I feel bad putting it down at like Daylight level, because Daylight is just bad. Yeah, and I kind of feel like I might want to put Daylight at the bottom. I don't know. Either way, What If is mid. It's the lyrics are basic. It's just kind of really depressing, but it like inspired my songwriting a little bit, so I'm like biased. White Shadows is also going mid. White Shadows is a lot better than What If though. Like, let the record show. White Shadows is good, but I just don't know why I can't listen to it anymore. I used to overplay the shit out of this album, so it's going to be ranked a lot lower than what it probably deserves, so I'm really sorry about that. Speaking of which, next up I'm putting Fix You and Nar. I'm so sorry to anybody who loves this song. Like, this was like the song that like my family decided was like my grandfather's song when he passed, so I like feel like kind of shitty. But also like it's just so overdone. I sang this for a talent show in 7th grade. Like, ugh, I can't with this song. Like, especially after Glee did it. It was done. It was done when Glee did it. I hope y'all can understand and sympathize with that. Anyway, Talk is next. Talk is like one of my least memorable songs for this, so I'm gonna put it with Fix You. This is like too memorable. This is not nearly. So it's gonna go down here, and that's okay. I'm at peace with that. Yeah, I just know. Let's talk, and it blends together with White Shadow so much that I literally am like having trouble right now distinguishing the two in my brain, which like I feel like maybe shouldn't be happening. But anyway, X and Y is good. I always forget it, but then I listen to it and I'm like, wait, this shit's so good. It's going with Square one of my favorite songs off the album. Just generally really good. Just really, really, really good. Yeah. And now I'm like trying to think about it and I can't remember it. But I just know every time I listen to it, I love it, and that's what matters at the end of the day. Because if it pops off up in my shuffle, like sometimes I'll like try to think about like what does it sound like, but then I'm like, oh wait, never mind. I just like it. Next is Speed of Sound, which is one of Coldplay's better singles, like Clocks is. But it can't hold a candle to Clocks. It's like more scientist here, but it doesn't get nearly as much play as like a lot of other Coldplay singles, but I still really appreciate it. And I enjoyed learning how to play this on piano too. I only learned the beginning because then it was like stupid, but whatever. A Message. Ooh. I'm gonna put a message here. I have like one thing that I know I'm sending. A Message is really sweet. Coldplay does simple well, and I maintain that. So therefore, I want to put A Message in Good Kush because it is the Good Kush. It's like it's just saying my song is love, and I'm not going to take it back. And I love. Low. I always get this confused with Low by Kelly Clarkson because when I was like solidly 12 and getting really into Coldplay and Kelly Clarkson at the same time, they both had a song called Low. And I can only remember Kelly Clarkson's, which is like a problem. I haven't listened to X and Y in a really long time. So I'm going to put it here. If I can't remember it, I'm going to put it there. I'm sorry. Hardest part is going to go in This Is the Dollar Store. It's like, it's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. I can't really remember past the first line, but I know the general sound of it, and it's fine. It's like on par with Speed of Sound. I'm not mad at that. The best song off this album is Swallowed in the Sea, which goes straight to the top easily. I remember hearing this song for the first time in like 7th or 8th grade and like literally crying. And partially because it's too low for me to sing, it still is, but like it was at the time for sure. But Swallowed in the Sea is good. It's like somebody talking about like you did all this stuff for me, and that's when I realized I was going wrong. And like and also like what good is it to live with nothing left to give and all that. Ugh, so good. And musically it's good. It has a really great build. It's a little slow to build, but I think it's correctly slow, if that makes any sense. So yeah, Twisted Logic I'm gonna put with Hardest Part. And This Is the Dollar Store, not because it's because I remember Twisted Logic significantly more, but I just don't like it as much as I like these three. So that's why it's simple. I'm just gonna put it down there for that. I like it about as much as like White Shadows and Speed of Sound. It's usually a skip. Till Kingdom Come is gonna go with Message. Once again, I almost sent it, but I feel like I don't like it enough. If I was gonna send one of these, I would send a Message. But Swallowed in the Sea is just on such another level than like all of these songs that I have to send that. But Till Kingdom Come, once again, Coldplay does simple well. And it's just like, I'd wait for you. It's a really good, like, part two to a message, you know. And I forget how you see the world. I've definitely listened to it. But anyway, we are now on to, I almost said X and Y, Viva singles. So Spell a Rebel Yell. I listened to this like this past week, and I don't love it that much. It's fine, no problem. But because of that, like, I'm just gonna put it into the dollar store. Like, it's cool. Love the title. Not for me. Death Will Never Conquer, I definitely liked more. So I'm gonna put it in Good Kush. I just enjoy it. I've never heard Don Quixote, and I'm very curious to hear Don Quixote. But I didn't know that was a thing. However, I did know the Gold Rush was a thing, and I do remember liking it a lot. In terms of the Lost trio, I'm gonna wait to rank those until I rank Lost itself, because I just know that one of them has Jay-Z on it, and then the other one is something else. But it's Lost. Like, it's Lost. I'm not gonna rank those. And I have heard Chinese Sleep Chant, but I really don't remember it like all that much. So like, I'm not gonna rank it. And I feel like if I did, I'd put it in Dollar Store. Mostly because of the cultural appropriation, probably. I don't know. I don't remember the fucking song. Speaking of cultural appropriation, we'll get back to that later. Yeah, and I didn't know there was a song called The Escapist, but I'm very interested, and I would like to hear it. Thank you. Life in Technicolor. Let's get to Viva. Disclaimer, I know Viva. I did not listen to Prospects March when I was, like, super into Coldplay. It's fine. Life in Technicolor goes Good Kush. Great way to open the album, and we get more of it later, but Life in Technicolor 2 is objectively better, so I can't send it. Sorry to that. Cemeteries of London. I admittedly mix up with Death and All of His Friends a lot, which is like a crime that I personally have committed. Why isn't... Oh, I'm gonna move this up. I put this with the other ones down here, but Lovers in Japan should be with Reign of Love. I don't know why they didn't give Lovers in Japan its own thing separate from Osaka-san. Either way, sorry, my brain just farted. But Cemeteries of London is objectively good. It's in Good Kush. You can't argue. Viva, I used to be like the edgy one that was like, Viva isn't Coldplay's best album. It's Parachutes. I like kind of stand by that. But also, like, I really was just lowballing Viva because everybody likes Viva. I was a little hipster. Cemeteries of London goes in Good Kush, though. It's a good song. Lost, I don't like that much. I've heard it too many times. I'm not a fan. I'm just going to put all of them together. There's no reason not to. But Lost is just like, trend alert, I'm bored. Jay-Z can't make it better. I'm sorry. Next we're gonna go to 42, which I'm sending. Which I know is like kind of bold, because it's kind of like two songs in one. But, I just love how it's so spooky. It's like, those who are dead, and all that. And yeah, it's just like, those who are dead, blah, blah, blah. And that goes into like this super fucking upbeat section. It's like, you thought you might be a ghost, do, and like that whole thing. And I kind of live. I think it was smart. And I also enjoyed the guitar riff at the beginning there. And just the counter-pointy guitar bass combo. Anyway, Lovers in Japan is next. Lovers in Japan is a really good single. Like, alongside Viva, because Viva, I'll get to Viva. But Lovers in Japan is a pretty solid, like, single. And I'm going to have to put in Good Kush. Same with Rain of Love. Rain of Love is a really good hidden track that, like, pairs really well with Lovers in Japan. And I appreciate when hidden tracks pair well together, because you can either make them super similar and, like, pair well together, and I feel like these ones are pretty similar, or you can make them super opposite and still thematically pair well together. And I really appreciate that too. Almost like two perspectives of the same thing. But yeah, yes, I'm going to actually put in Nar, ironically. I I just like if I'm gonna skip a track on Viva, I'm skipping Yes every single time. It's objectively the worst track on the whole album. So that's, well, besides, I'd also probably skip Vita, but that's because it's overplayed. Viva's going with Yes. I'm sorry. Like, I would like double skip that. I'm okay. I'm at peace with that. No, 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 not you. Get, no, ba, 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 ba. Sorry. Um, Viva La Vida as a song is like one of the most boring Coldplay singles ever. And also, like, why did Fallen Kingdom slap so much harder? Like, when Fallen Kingdom, like, slaps hard. When the Minecraft parody is better, I think that says it all. So I'm gonna put those both in Nar. Yeah. Violet Hill, on the other hand, gets sent. It is, I think I would, it's hard to call, but I think I would say that Violet Hill is the best track on Viva La Vida. Pretty easily. Yeah, like, pretty easily. It's just like just the if you love me do what you love with like the like it's just the it's so good. And then at the end it gets all quiet and nice and you feel like you're alone at the top of Violet Hill and you're like, I love it. It's so good, it's genius, and I almost never skip that track, so I'm gonna do that. Strawberry Swing, I'm gonna put mid. Strawberry Swing is good. It's fun, kind of like Lovers in Japan is, and like Lost is. It's like a happy medium between Lovers in Japan and Lost. It's better than Lost though, but it's not nearly as good as anything that's in Good Kush, so I'm putting it dollar store. And then Death and All of His Friends. Oof, it's high Good Kush. I have to send it. It's not my favorite track, my favorite Coldplay track, but it's so genius, and I just love it. And like, I can't not like. I think I like Lovers in Japan Reign of Love more than Death and All of His Friends. But Death of All His Friends is objectively better, if you catch my drift. So I'm going to do that. Now we're going to get to we're going to get to Prospects March. I familiarized myself a lot more with Prospects March, but Life in Technicolor too is Ascend. It's literally just like the genius that is Life in Technicolor, and also like such a good title, but add vocals. Can't go wrong. Postcards from Far Away, I'm putting in Good Kush, just because, like, once again, title is like so good. The titles on these B-sides are like incredible. But Postcards from Far Away is just like nice, and I like the lyrics. I don't know what else to say. Glass of Water is not super memorable, but I remember always liking it, and also it's a really good title, so I'm doing dollar store. A lot of these are really superficial judgments at this point. Don't judge me. Rainy Day, I'm having trouble remembering, so I'm inclined to say Nar. And same thing with Prospects March and Poppy Fields. I'm like just speed rounding this. Now My Feet Won't Touch the Ground is really good though, and I'm putting a Good Kush easily. It's like one of those Coldplay B-sides that like is really defining to Coldplay, even though it's a B-side. And like it's like really fucking memorable, and it's one of those songs I think about when I think about Coldplay, just because like the lyrics and everything. But it's still a B-side, and like I remember listening through Prospects March for the first time and being like, oh wait, I already know Now My Feet Won't Touch the Ground, duh. So yeah, that's why it's there. So we're getting towards Milo era, but first we have to do Christmas Lights. And Christmas Lights, I'm gonna put in Good Kush. So I remember when this came out and it was free on iTunes, and I was like, oh, it's a Coldplay song, I have to download it. And I was worried that it was just gonna be like a fucking shitty Christmas song, but it's actually a good Christmas song, and I'm a Jew saying that, so I'm right. I just remember my parents being like, why do you want the Coldplay Christmas song? I'm like, it's actually good, don't worry. And I just like how there's an actual story about it, and basically just like it's like tells the story of like somebody who's like basically having a fucking anxiety attack because she's like, LOL, like this doesn't feel like Christmas because I just had like a fucking fight with like my husband or whatever, and I feel like shit right now, so I'm gonna go walk around, and the snow hasn't fallen, but when I see the Christmas lights, my anxiety goes away. Like I'm okay with that. It's a really good Christmas song. Not gonna send it because it's a Christmas song, but like Moving to Mars. I'm also putting Good Kush. Moving to Mars was a better single than Every Teardrop. So jot that down. But Every Teardrop was still good. I remember really liking it when it came out. Um, so we're gonna get into Milo proper. So starting with Hurts Like Heaven, I'm really happy that they like combined the little starter track with the track that like comes after it, because like I don't want to rank like I've seen a lot of Sufjan rankings that like put like let's play that string part again, or like whatever, like One Last Woohoo like as its own track. I'm like, how do I rank that like next to fucking 25 minutes of Impossible Soul? I don't get it. So I'm glad that they grouped these because it makes sense in my fantasy. Hurts Like Heaven is a really good opener track. It's like so this album, a lot of people didn't like it because it was like so different to everything that Coldplay had done before. Like it's like, especially when you compare it to Parachutes, you can't have more of a 180. Um, but it went just super poppy. But Hurts Like Heaven was super fast and upbeat, so it was like, it's almost like a shock to the soul. It's like a sugar rush basically. But it's still really good. And I remember this was fun live. Paradise goes in hell. It's going Everyday Life era. Paradise is bad. It's just a bad song. Like, it was a bad single. I remember I was just really happy that I was getting like mainstream attention when it came out, so I pretended to like it, but I didn't actually like it. I just liked that Coldplay was getting some kind of recognition. Anyway, Charlie Brown. That's Ascend. Charlie Brown is like Charlie Brown is like a really good like segue between Viva era and Milo era, because it's like solid. It's like got that electro shit, but it also has like that really good like percussion and like rhythm from like Viva era, and I love that. Also, I forget if it's this song or a different song. I'm pretty sure it's this song, but seeing Will on the fucking like big ass bass drum just like hammering at, no, I think that's for Viva, I don't know, but it's just funny seeing like live Coldplay concert videos and just see like Will, because he has like nothing else to do, just like hammering a fucking bass drum. It's just really entertaining. Anyway, Us Against the World, I'm putting mid. I used to really, really, really like this song. Like, used to love this song. But it's kind of fallen off for me. But it's good. It's objectively good. Teardrop I'm also going to put there, because Every Teardrop is a Waterfall is also objectively a good song. It's just like, it got too much play time. It was clearly trying to do the pop pandering thing, but it was a good like diagnostic single that also helped bridge that like Viva to Milo era, which like is a hard task to do. They're really different albums. Okay, Major Minus. I know people love Major Minus. I do not. I just don't. I don't get it. I've never liked it. I remember when I saw him at the Milo tour in 2012 being so disappointed that this was on the set list. Like, I don't know why, but I was so intensely disappointed that Major Minus was on the set list. I just remember like it started. I'm like, are you serious? Like, this of all things. But actually, like, I think they also did it for Head Full of Dreams tour, but don't quote me on that. But it like performs really well live, so I can't be too mad at it. But it's just like, this isn't, because like I said at the beginning, Nar is like, I used to like it and I don't anymore, or I get why other people like it, but it's just not my favorite, so that's why it's going there. UFO. I like UFO more than Us Against the World, but not enough. Oh no, UFO, Up in Flames, and Us Against the World, and also Up with the Birds. All the fucking U songs are just like this like fucking like tetrahedron or whatever the fuck you want to call it of like mess. Because like they're all like acoustic and like chill, but they're all like really similar. So I think I'm just gonna have to put UFO with it. But I think if I had to pick one out of all of these that I like the best, it would have to be UFO or Up in Flames. But UFO is just solid and acoustic and chill, and I'm not mad at it. Princess of China, I have very conflicting feelings on because it was one of the better tracks musically on the album, but also, like, I really need Coldplay to stop the Orientalism. Like, really badly. Like, it's already started. Like, it was one thing for, like, Lovers in Japan. Like, we didn't know it was coming when Lovers in Japan happened. Like, we really didn't. And then we get this. It's like Claude Debussy levels of, like, hey, I was introduced to, like, Asian music, the East Asian music. And, well, for Claude Debussy, it was South Asian music, so fuck that. But it's like, I was introduced to, like, parts of, like, various Asian diaspora cultures, so now I have to use it anything I do. And this is the beginning of that, which hurts my soul, so I have to put it in NAR, but I can't put it in Everyday Life. It's so much better than Paradise and Whisper. I can't. Up in Flames, I'm gonna put this one in Good Kush. Because Up in Flames isn't acoustic, and it's like, I don't want to call it lo-fi because it's not lo-fi, but it's like Coldplay trying to do lo-fi, if that makes any sense. And I enjoy the lyrics of it and just, like, the simplicity of the lyrics. Coldplay is simple well. Don't Let It Break Your Heart. I used to not like it just because I didn't give a shit, but it's fine. It's Dollar Store. It's Dollar Store Hurts Like Heaven. This wants what Hurts Like Heaven has. And Up with the Birds is also going to go. It's like one of the most, in Dollar Store, I would almost consider putting it in NAR, but I can't put it with major minus. That's rude. But Up with the Birds is a fine song, but it's like a weird way to end the album, especially when you start with Hurts Like Heaven. It just, like, the album, like, really loses steam, and I can't do that. Anyway, we're on to Atlas now, and Atlas gets sent. I don't care if it was a Hunger Games song. Atlas is fucking good. Like, fucking good. And I love it. And I listened to it yesterday, and I enjoyed it. I don't remember this Miracles. I remember my parents listened to it, and they liked it. So it means it probably wasn't that good, but, you know, whatever. Okay. We're on Ghost Stories era, and there are a couple singles that came, like, after. I only literally listened to these, like, last week for the first time. So, yeah. So keep that in mind. But I remember when Ghost Stories came out, like, very distinctly. And I distinctly remember listening to it when I took CAD classes, like engineering, architecture, and, like, 3D modeling. I remember, like, listening to it then and, like, very actively thinking about it then. Anyway. Always in my head. It's a really good way to start the album. I don't want to put it in Good Kush just because I don't think it deserves it, because, like, I like the beginning sound with, like, the overlapping spooky voices and stuff, or, like, ethereal voices, and I love how it begins, but that just, it's so boring, so I'm gonna put it mid because there's really great and really bad elements. Magic, talking about good Coldplay singles, Magic is a really good single. It's simple and it works. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Ink, I also like. I'm gonna put it with Magic, because Ink and True Love are, like, low-key the same song, but don't worry about it. I really like this album, but this was one that became an acquired taste because I ended up relating to it, even though I didn't go through a divorce and it was a divorce album, like, very that. But I ended up relating to it, so I remember not liking it when it came out and it becoming an acquired taste. Whereas things like, I used to love X and Y, but now I just can't. I can't listen to it through. It doesn't happen. Anyway, Ink and True Love are, like, pretty similar, but Ink, I like how it takes the concept of, like, tattoos and that permanence, and I really like that. I think True Love, I like the, like, for True Love, I'm gonna put it, it's like a very, very high NAR. I'm gonna put it in NAR. Something has to go there. I know what else is gonna, wait a damn minute. Anyway, yeah, so True Love, it's like a very high NAR, but I just don't like it. Like, I like the tell me you love me, if you don't then lie, but that's about it. So I'm not here for it. True Love can stay there. Midnight I do love. I love a good like Imogen Heap, like Bon Iver, like vocodery moment. And I just remember I was on a Girl Scouts camping trip and like when this album came out, and I was telling the girls in my troop like while we were in the tent because it was like fucking late and we were like all trying to go to sleep. I'm like, y'all, this song like makes you go to sleep. Like you don't have a choice. So I think I literally played it through my like green iPod Nano speakers, or it might have been my brother's orange one. I don't know. But I played it through my iPod Nano speakers, and everybody within the time of the song, like, literally was falling asleep. It's like NyQuil in the best way, and that's exactly what it needs to be. But it's cool. Another's Arms is going to go with True Love. Another's Arms, I like the instrumentation in it, I guess. But I also hate that I can't sing it because it's so low. But it's literally just like, I don't like you with somebody else. It's like, y'all got a divorce. Like, not like cry bitch or get over it, but also like, what do you expect? Anyway, Oceans is really good and it's going to go up with Midnight. I love Oceans. This was a song I slept on because I literally would not want to get through Another's Arms. And also, like, like, if you want to listen to an album straight through, like, you'll get interrupted and then want to, like, if you get interrupted by a class or a meeting and you'll have to start the whole album over then, like, sometimes, like, you have that vibe. So I, like, often wouldn't get to Oceans, and I rediscovered Oceans, like, during school, and I'm like, wait, this shit's good. Oceans is really good, and I love it. Coldplay does simple well. Coldplay does simple well. Like, that's a common theme. Like, there's some things like this. Like, Charlie Brown's not simple. Atlas isn't nearly simple. Neither is Life in Technicolor or Death of All's Friends or, like, Violet Hill. But there's a lot of simple shit up here. Anyway, Sky Full of Stars, I'm going to put in Everyday Life era, and I feel bad about it. I loved this song when it came out. But it was like, this was like, if Sky Full of Stars hadn't happened, then something just like this wouldn't have happened, so I can't forgive it. And that's all I have to say about that. I don't know why Fly On and O are separate, but they're the same song, and I'm sending them both. Like, to my knowledge, at least. I love it. I love, 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 love this song. Like, with all my heart. And it would be a crime for me to not put it here, so I'm going to put it here. Fly On and O are objectively good, and they deserve to be at the top. It's like, once again, simple piano. The piano itself it's deceptively hard piano, like for somebody who can't fucking play for shit. So I appreciate it. Next, we are going to these B-sides. I only recently listened to these two. I need more listens to decide, but I enjoyed the reprise for O, and I put it in Good Kush. It's like low Good Kush, just because like I don't know it that well. Anyway, let's go to Head Full of Dreams era. I remember Head Full of Dreams coming out very distinctly because I remember Adventure of a Lifetime dropping and me losing my mind because it was so fucking fun, but that's another conversation. I also remember Everglow dropping because I had just finished like my last like summer at my old summer camp, and we all got matching rings that said you'll be with me wherever I go on it, and it was like definitely a quote from like the Miley Cyrus movie or whatever, the Hannah Montana movie, I don't even know. The other girls in my age group picked it, but I just remember hearing the Everglow lyric, and you're with me wherever I go, and just looking at my ring like on the fucking bus like junior year and losing my damn mind. So anyway, Head Full of Dreams era. As an opener track, this is solid. I don't love it, but it's good. Head Full of Dreams goes in This Is the Dollar Store. It's like a pretty standard track, but I like how Milo is so fucking like all over the place. And then Ghost Stories had a very narrow lens of like, this is a sad acoustic piano-y breakup album, and you're gonna deal with it. And I like how Head Full of Dreams had that same focus that Ghost Stories did. Like, not the song, the album Head Full of Dreams. Had that same focus that Ghost Stories did, but from a much more upbeat perspective, generally. Obviously, there are moments like Everglow that are a lot more down, but that's okay. We can have those. There needs to be some. But I just liked how joyous it was and how honest it was. And, like, I appreciated that. So Head Full of Dreams is mid as a song because it just sums up the album. It's solid. Birds is also fun, and I'm going to also put it mid. I enjoy the concept of a bunch of birds fucking raging everywhere. And, like, Chris Martin encouraging a bunch of birds to rage everywhere. Yeah, I don't know. It's like one of the more boring upbeat tracks, and I think this was like a booger for a lot of people in the album, but I like it. Him for the Weekend is, I have to put it with Princess of China. It got like, I was really mad because the radio like remix would always play instead of the actual version. But also, like, especially when the music video dropped, like, it was just like literal cultural appropriation central, and they dragged Beyonce down with it. Like, come on. And it's like, it's just like another like nail in the coffin of Coldplay specifically not even just being culturally appropriative, but also being Orientalists. So there's that. Everglow, I'm sending. There's no question. This is like one of my favorite like sad Coldplay piano ballads. It has a really, really special place in my heart. So it's going. Adventure of a Lifetime's going with it. This is the best Coldplay singles era. Like, easily the best Coldplay. Like, I think Charlie Brown might have been a single, but I'm not 100% sure. And Midnight was a single. Trouble and Spies were also singles, but like there was a lot of singles early, so I don't really count that. But in terms of like you know, the like current album format of we release 2 or 3 singles and then we give you the album, like I'm confident having Charlie Brown Midnight on there, but like these were like the lead singles of this album, and they were both incredible. And it made me so excited for the whole thing to drop. And I remember when the whole thing did drop, I loved it. So and like the guitar riff and everything, this was fun. It was just fun. The music video was weird, but the song is fun, and that's undeniable. Speaking of fun, I'm also sending fun. I love this duet. I can't believe that Tovlo did fucking habits, habits, and this. Like, they're so different. And also, like, she did Disco Tits, and then she did Fun, where she like just sang, like, her vocals were incredible. Like, she really carried this song. But it's just, I love this duet so much, and I appreciate it. Kaleidoscope is, I mean, I'm gonna put it in NAR. Like, it's its own song, but it and Color Spectrum both like are just like it feels very filler. It feels very performative. Like, especially because I forget if it's Kaleidoscope or Color Spectrum. I think Color Spectrum's the one that use like civil rights like samples and stuff, like civil rights movement samples. Kaleidoscope and Color Spectrum literally could be the same song. I wouldn't be able to tell them apart. So anyway, Army of One goes in Good Kush. I want to send it, but I already sent 3, so I feel bad. But I love Army of One, and I love X Marks the Spot too, and they're gonna go together. X Marks the Spot is the hidden track. For a lot of Coldplay hidden tracks, it's usually a lot of space between the 2 songs, but there's very little space between this. It's very abruptly, just because it's Army of One, and then just doom for X Marks the Spot, and I really appreciate that. But Army of One is sweet. It's just like somebody's like, I'm gonna fight for you, I'm gonna wait for you, I'm gonna do everything for you, and like I'm here for that. It's simple, like lyrically, and it gives me very like this. Army of One seems like a reprieve of Fix You. It's very classic Coldplay, and I appreciate that. And then X Marks the Spot is such a 180, and it's more electro-y and just cool, and I really love it. And it's like chill. Army of One is so like, I have a bright shining smile on my face, and then X Marks the Spot is like loungy, and I like that. Amazing Day is trauma for I'll tell you all about that in a second. But Amazing Day, I'm gonna put it at mid. I used to love it, and then I arranged it for my a cappella group at high school, and that's back when like nobody liked me. So nobody took my arrangement, and even though it was a good arrangement, and picked Issues by Julia Michaels instead to do, which turned out to be the most boring fucking thing ever, and I was really bitter about it, so that's why it goes here. But Amazing Day is fine, I guess. Color Spectrum's going with going Kaleidoscope. Up and Up is a really great way to end the album. It's gonna go in Good Kush. It's fun. This was really fun live. this was really fun live. Like, this album was really good live. Um, like shit, like Army of One was incredible live. Head Full of Dreams was good. I don't even remember if they did Birds, but Up and Up I remember, and it was so good. So that's that. That's that era. So now we are into, I forget what this, I think it's like the Miracles or whatever. Or no, it's the Hypnotize EP. Duh. Um, all I can think about is I'm gonna put in Good Kush. I think it's like slower paced for Coldplay, but I think it's still good. It's kind of like if you made Always in My Head more classic Coldplay and less depressing. Um, Miracles, Someone Special. I'm between these two because I like it, but I also hate it. Yeah, I'm gonna put it in NAR. It's not good. It's not good. I don't know what else to say. Aliens gets no, it's not getting sent. No way. Aliens goes with Good Kush. It gives me very Radiohead, like in a fun way. Like Coldplay and Radiohead have a lot of parallels, especially like around like the like early mid 2010s. And this is one of them that I appreciate. Just the syncopation and everything. I appreciate it. And then Hypnotize. I can't tell apart from Someone Special. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna put it in NAR. Um, and then now we're into something just like this, and I don't need an explanation. It has the Chainsmokers on it. It goes in Everyday Life era. Speaking of Everyday Life era, now we get to Everyday Life. This is the album I am least familiar with because I listened to it a couple times, and I hate it every time I listen to it. So I'm just gonna rank what I know or like I remember reacting to. Church. No, I'm going to put, if I don't have an opinion on it, I'm putting it in Everyday Life era by Sunrise. Church is fine. It's mid at best. It's one of the better songs on the album, but it's mid. I don't remember it, but I remember liking it, so whatever. Trouble in Town goes into NAR because I don't like it. I just don't. I get it's like objectively one of the better tracks on it, but it's NAR. Broken. Now we're just like appropriating gospel music. Oh, by the way, if we want to talk about Orientalism, like we have to talk about how literally this whole fucking album is like, hey, we're gonna be like white saviors of the whole Middle East. Don't worry about it. That's the biggest problem I have with this. This album tries so hard to be political, and like I know Coldplay has been political since like shit like Such a Rush, and like since their very first shit. So I don't want to be like, oh, it's all just performative, and they're just doing it because it's trendy, because they have been doing it for a while, but like it's very white saviory, this album. I don't like it. So anyway, Broken is like, I like Broken because I enjoy a good gospel choir. I don't like that Coldplay did it though. Like it should just been a song on its own. So I'm gonna put it with Church because I like it a lot more than Church. I listen to it a lot more frequently than Church, but I can't put it any higher. Daddy Goes in Hell, easily. Fuck that. Bad song. Bad song. Wait, I think that's Weight of the World or Power to the People. I'm gonna put it in Dollar Store, maybe. No, I'm gonna put it in NAR. I don't like it that much. Same with Arabesque. I just don't like it that much. Talking about songs I do like, I love When I Need a Friend. It gives me very like Bob Chilcott arranging Billy Joel in the best way. And I love When I Need a Friend, and it's one of my favorite songs, like, to listen to, like, when I'm having a panic attack. And I'm a choir kid, so, like, I just love. And it deserves to be sent, and it's the only redeeming quality about this fucking album. Guns, I need, like, a separate Shadow Realm for Guns itself. And I've seen people that, like, literally on tier lists have done that, and I support them. Orphans is morally confusing. It's like, it's big white saviory. We've talked about this, but it's also fun. I think I'm gonna put this in Good Kush just because it's a good song. Echo, I don't remember. I don't. Cry 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 I actually really like, so I'm gonna put it in That's the Good Kush. We're speed rounding this at this point. Old Friends, I don't remember. This, the fact that I forget what it is, I feel like it has something to do with the moon, but I might be projecting Radiohead onto this. So, whatever. Yeah, whatever. I'm gonna put it here. It's whatever. Champion of the World, I don't remember, and I did like Everyday Life. Like, I hate this album. This album should not exist. Yeah, that's really that. I said I was gonna like come back and rank all this shit that I haven't like listened to enough to rank, but I'm not. I'm just gonna go through what I have. So my favorite Coldplay songs are easily "See You Soon" from Blue Room era, then from Parachutes, Sparks, Spies, Troubles, We Never Change. Just really great songs, really emotional songs. I love "I Bloom Bomb," and then from "A Rush of Blood," I love the title track, and then "Amsterdam." They're by far the best songs on that album. "Swallowed in the Sea" is stand out for me from X and Y. Then from Viva era, I love 42, Violet Hill, and Death and All of His Friends. They're all so different and so cool, and I love them. Life in Technicolor 2 is also really good. From Milo, Charlie Brown is by far the best song. It's just a good hype song, and I like it. Atlas is really good, even though it's like just like a movie single. It's so good, so well done, and it's like very cinematic in a great way. Unpopular opinion, I really like Ghost Stories. It looks like I like it just as much as Parachutes from this, but Fly On and O are the same thing, I'm pretty sure. So like, I don't fucking know. I put them together. If they're not, then whatever. Call me a fake fan. But like, once again, I've also seen Coldplay twice, and the fact that I'm only missing a bunch of these, which like aren't even on Spotify, I'm at peace with. Then from not Adventure of a Lifetime era, Head Full of Dreams era, Everglow, Adventure of Singles and Fun. Easily. There's no contest. The singles should be like some of the best shit on the album, and obviously that doesn't always happen because public reception is public reception. But like, they did it right with this album, and the fact that everybody ripped on this album just because it was poppy and didn't actually care about the quality of the music pisses me off. And then When I Need a Friend is by far the standout track of Everyday Life. For my shit tier, we don't need to talk about the middle. These songs are good. You can screenshot if you want. These songs are fine, but still pretty good. This isn't for me, but if you like it, I'm not judging you. This is garbage, mama. A Whisper, I can't stand. It's just a whisper, a whisper. Paradise, no, not talking about it. Same with Sky Full of Stars. These both led to something just like this, which, once again, Chainsmokers. We don't need to talk about it. And if this is here, I'm just going to put this here for fun. Just to complete this row. Because why would I like it? It's Everyday Life era. So this is all garbage. But yeah, that's my tier list. I don't know if I'm posting this. If I did, thanks for watching me ramble for an hour. Bye.